Good morning and happy Sunday. Were you sitting there bobbing to that music? Because I was. It really does. It always reminds me. I always think of like little Smurf characters bobbing along in a countryside. You know, it's a cross between a Smurf and a Teletubby, yeah, if you know both of those. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking when I hear that music. Good morning and welcome to Crafters TV. It's going to be a fantastic Sunday. We have got so much planned. And you know what? I'm really glad I'm on this side today because I am so excited about our masterclass. This is going to be so educational, but it's only going to work if you lot come along on board and give us your comments and tell us what you want to see. What do you want to know about the Ultimate Pro? There we go, straight in there. They've put it on here. We've put down there. We want your comments, and our lovely Rachel, who's on socials today, is going to feed them through. And I just have to read them. I don't have to do anything with them because, oh, he's dipping down. You there? Our lovely Craig is going to try, I'm sure he will, and answer all your comments and questions about the Ultimate Pro.
I'm going to try. Do you know what's lovely? I've got 2 blooming hours to do it in each show. It's going to be so good. So good, absolutely. Now, if you are new to us, then you may not be familiar of the Ultimate Pro. Ultimate Pro is that one workstation. So card bases, you can do your envelopes, you can do your boxes, but then it's also a bow maker. It's also a guillotine as well. You've got your paper trimmer in there within the middle. There is so much that you can do. When it came to, of course, envelope maker with Sarah, you know, 17 years ago, it kind of catapulted her to where she is now, but then having the Ultimate Pro way back there as well. And it's one of these tools that all the way from 17 years ago right up to this very day, we still sell so many of them. So it's always lovely to have that little bit of a refresher. Whether you have been crafting for years, you've maybe already got your Ultimate Pro or some of the boards as well that we'll go through. Then again, that's good for that little bit of a refresher. Or if you're brand new to us, then wow, you're going to be in for a treat, because what you can do with this is great as a standalone, but then you can bring things such as the punches that launched on Friday with Debbie. You can bring in your edgeable dies, you can bring in your folders, your cardstock, all of that you can start to bring in. There is so much education as well across on our YouTube, whether it is simple card shapes, card boxes, whether it is themed ones, whether it's going to be for, of course, Easter time, whether it's going to be for birthdays, Christmas times, Mother's Day coming up here in the UK, of course. I know you guys in America are a bit later in May, but all of these, so many different things that you can be doing. It is all about that scoring aspect. Every part, whether it's the envelope maker, whether it's the scoreboard, the box maker, anything, all that, it all revolves around scoring. So we're going to have a fun couple of hours on this Sunday morning.
We certainly are. Now, if any of you saw yesterday's show, we were with our lovely Jan, and she made, for that craft along, she made that beautiful box with the frame inside. And what we said on there, the key to that working was the accuracy of the score lines, that you've got everything at right angles and you've got the score lines right. I know she used the Score Master, but that's what the Ultimate Pro is about. It's about getting those lines right, the scores right, but also enhancing your creativity. Now, we've got loads of people watching, and I think everybody is going to be joining us because they want to know so much about the Ultimate Pro. We've got Cheryl saying good morning from Alaska, Christine Mahoney saying good morning, everyone from a very snow-covered upstate New York. Oh dear, I do feel for you, Christine. Can't wait for summer. Me too. I'm a summer person, really. We've got Sherry, good morning from Ohio. Lynn Blackledge says, good morning from my craft room on the Isle of Wight. Ready to learn more about my Ultimate Pro. So it sounds like she's already got the Ultimate Pro. She wants to learn a bit more about how to use it. Now, am I allowed to say this? Our Rachel, who's on social, says, I have the Envelobox creator board and have to admit I've never used it. Would it be possible to see a demo on this?
For you, Rachel, no.
Okay, there I am. That answered that one, didn't it?
Of course I can. Of course I can.
Debbie says, good morning from upstate New York. I always love tips on the Ultimate Pro. Kate says, Craig, what does Kate say? Try not to break the paper cutter on this, Craig.
Thank you, Kate.
Yeah, you know, once things happen, they never leave you.
No, they don't.
They never leave you.
No,
I'm just saying my dress. Do you know what? I was so careful this morning. I was so careful because I've got George. I had dress on the right way, cardigan not inside out, talk back not over my shoulder, because that's the other one I do. I leave it over my shoulder and forget to put it in my ear, and they're going, can you not hear us? I go, oh, I forgot to put it in my ear.
Forgot to put it in the ear, yeah.
I've done the checklist. I've done the whole checklist this morning, and hopefully we're all right. Got Carol Shepherd saying, morning to everyone, ready for the Ultimate Pro. What's the best way to use the stencils on envelopes? Sure, we can cover that one too.
I think we could cover that, yeah.
Yeah, Rachel says you're a meanie, Craig. Christine Mahoney says, force me to use my Ultimate Pro more, please, Craig. Now, I think if you see what Craig is going to be able to do with it today, then you will want to use yours more. Now, I'm going to show you the bundle, but before we start on the bundle, I want to quickly do a little bit of housekeeping. So we have got lots and lots of offers for you today. Now, today is the last day of our Taste of weekend. So when we say Taste of, what we're saying is giving you a taste of what it's like to be the next level in Club Inspire. So if you're a bronze member, you would normally get 5%, but we're going to give you the silver. We're going to give you 10%. If you're silver, we're going to give you 15. Gold, we're going to give you 20, as if you were platinum. Platinum, because there's nowhere else to go, we're just going to increase it to 25%. And that's off as many orders as you make all weekend. And that will end tonight, you know, 1 minute to midnight, wherever you are in the world. So place your orders, because you're not going to get better prices, because tomorrow if you bought this, you're only going to get your normal Club Inspire discount. You're not going to get the rest. If you are new and you've never used Club Inspire, we'll put you straight in at Platinum and obviously honour the 25% instead of 20% off your very first order. So it's a perfect time to buy. Now, we've got lots of other offers on there. So we've got 10% off all of our Spectrum Noir tools and accessories. There should be a strap on our front page. If you click on that, it'll take you to them, whether it's your brayer, your blending tools, your spritzer bottles, whatever it is, Spectrum Noir, go and have a look on that. And the other offer on our Spectrum Noir is 3 for 2 on our individual or single pens and re-inkers. Now, it's the Classique pens. It is sort of limited pens. If you click on the link, it'll take you, oh, and the illustrators, there we go. So it's illustrators and classiques. So go and have a look at that. Remember, there's 216 classiques in there. So if you just need a few to top up or replace some that will go in a bit low, why not get the re-inkers, or why not get some more individual pens? Did you see Jan's demos yesterday on the re-inkers again? She did some mind-blowing ones yesterday. Now, the last offer I've got to show you today is our Mother's Day offer. So this one is, if you buy a gift card for someone else, for your mum, your auntie, your friend, whoever, and it's at least £10, $10, €10, we're going to give you, for you to use, a £5 voucher, £5, $5, €5, for you to use yourself. Now, that is a one-time only offer, only one per customer, so make sure that you use it wisely, and don't forget to use that before it runs out. So there you go. So give somebody an e-card, gift card today, and you're going to get a little something back yourself. That's perfect. Right, so just to see who else is here. How many additional boards are available for the Ultimate? Trying to figure out if I have them all or not, says Anne from Twin Cities. Oh, we'll work that one out as we go through, because I think we've probably got them. We will work that one out and come back to you, Anne. Pat says, good morning. I've had the Ultimate Pro for a long time and not used it, so really looking forward to this class. Oh, on the website, there's 4 plates or 4 boards, and so far, but we'll see if there's any others. We'll work out if there's any others that have sold out in the past. Morning, Corrine and Craig, says Angela Essex. Oh, and CCTV crew. Looking forward to this. Had my Pro for 12 years now. Well, hopefully you're a pro with yours. Just so that you know, as I said, it's Rachel on socials, Jake's running around getting us what we need, and it's Nicola and George in the gallery today. So yeah, dream team here today. Now, this is our Ultimate Pro bundle. So if you buy the Ultimate Pro today, so for the same price that you would normally pay, $39.99 or $69.95 in dollars for your Ultimate Pro, we're going to give you a free boxer board and a tape pen. Now, this is the metric board. Ultimate Pro, sorry. Now, there is a US one, but if you are buying, even if you're in the US and you're buying our Centura Pearl from us and all of our other papers, then you will need to use the metric board. It does work out slightly different if you use the US one, because that has all the score lines have been put in there to work with letter size paper. So it depends what you want. In the US, you might need both. Depends what paper you work with, but if you work with our regular A4, then this is the one you want. It's the metric. $39.99, $69.95 if you're in the US. Now, Nicola, is that still working right? If you've got the prices, has it not been stand by? Right, what's that platinum price? Hopefully, it's going to go down even more. That is the 20% discount, and we want it to show 25% discount, please, Nicola. So she's going to work her magic, and oh, she's working. I can hear it. I can hear her, the nails going tick, 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 and she's going. But anyway, that's the 20% discount, $31.99 or $55.96, and it's going to go down even more if you're a Platinum member, because we're going to give you an extra 5% discount. So I think it'll come off and then it'll go back on. I think that's how it works. It'll go off the screen. So you're going to be saving even more. Oh, is it coming down, Nicola? Just, oh, I can hear her. Can you hear her?
I can hear her, yeah. I can hear that keyboard
There
going.
we go. Ready, ready. There we go. Oh, we like that price better. We like that price better. Look at that. That's just about half price. Just about half price on the bundle now. There you go, if you're a Platinum member. Instead of $58.97, you're going to be paying $29.99.
That's crazy.
That is a brilliant deal. So you're going to get the Ultimate Pro and the free boxer board and tape pen, because those are the perfect accessories. So, Mr. Craig.
Yes.
What do we need to know about the Ultimate Pro, please?
Oh, it does so many incredible things all in once. Can I just say as well, all those years ago when I bought mine, I can remember off, you know, that other channel that you know as well, Corrine, I was $89.99 for just my Ultimate Pro. Yes, you got the tools inside again, but it wasn't with the tape pen, it wasn't with the boxer board, it was just your Ultimate Pro on its own. So that deal that we've got today is exceptional. Now, as I was saying at the start here, so your Ultimate Pro, this is one of those tools that I'm always using myself, you know, whether it is just dipping into for a quick 5-10 minutes or whether I focus with it within a good couple of hours, because it takes up very little space. You're able to fold it all back, but the way that it's been designed, the way that it moves, the way that it folds, it all serves a purpose. So saying that, let's go right back to one side here. Now you've got your scoring lines. Now, unfortunately, when it comes to the screens, it's a lot harder to see the actual embossed wording on all of these embossed lines here. So all that I'll just read them out, and then I know that when you've got them, Georgie's going to go really, really close to see if we can see them in a moment. But then what we have got, if I go that way, and see, very, very hard. It's always hard. But we've got gatefold A5 / concertina A5, gatefold A4, concertina A4, trifold A4. You've got half fold A5, you've got 5-inch square fold, and you've got your half fold A4. And you've also got all of these embossed detail lines. Now, these are all serving that purpose where if you just want to score your cardstock in half, then perfect, you can do. And what I mean by that is if I take a piece of cardstock. Now, when working with this one, if you make sure the handle is to the left-hand side, and then if we take in a piece of A4 cardstock, and then I'm going to go half fold A4. So if I take my half fold A4, I always like to go just lightly in a few times. Really, really quick, simple. There is your A4 cardstock in half. So that is your A5 card blank straight away. But then, of course, you've got all those different features as well that you've seen a moment ago. If I bring another one in.
Craig,
yeah.
Linda Magnus says, I use it, we think she means gatefold. She says she uses it for double folded cards, but we think it means gatefold. But there was a gap in the middle. Is this normal?
It is. It is, yeah. You always do want that little bit of a gap, because if it joins completely, what's going to happen is it's going to give you kind of like a teepee in the middle. It's not going to close flush. You want that little bit of a gap. Similar, when you fold your cardstock, and I know, Corrine, you'll agree with me on this one here. If you see that little lip, that's normal. That is so you can get your finger in there, so the card's going to open with ease.
Yeah. If they're absolutely perfect, they're really hard to open, aren't they?
Really, really, really hard. So when you are folding, if you see that few little millimetre extra there, that is absolutely normal. That's the way that it's designed to do.
Would you put that at the back or the front?
So it's one of those, for me personally, I put it so that I can't see it.
That's what I would do too.
Because I don't want to see that additional line there. But then it does mean, if you want to hold it that way and open the card that way, of course you could. But then if it is the other way around, it's just as easy then to lift it that way, so you're not seeing it. So that is normal. So yes, now going to what you were asking a minute ago, that little bit of a gap in the middle, that is right. That is absolutely normal, because once again, if it closes and if it's bang on flush together, it just jars and it's not going to go into that full
I mean,
flush
it's the
mode.
smallest of gaps.
Very small, isn't it? Very, very. But yeah, you're not doing anything wrong. It's completely normal. And then I'm just going to go in for another one before we show you the rest of them here, because what you've also got is your half-fold A5, as I said. You've even got things, actually, let's go in with your tri-fold A4. So if I score, once again, I'm going up to my handle side. So I've gone in my tri-fold A4, and then I'm going to flip it on its side again, Corrine. Now that's given me my 3.
You can see straight away they're the same, can't you?
Exactly the same. So then you can go in and then give it a burnish, fold it back on itself, and then again, see how you've then got that perfect measurement, your tri-fold, when it comes to the Centura Pearl, whether it's your mirror card, whatever it is, but then that's just a few of them. And then all that you need to do is, if you see all these fancy cards, you know, that are at jaunty angles, just cut one corner to one corner or a bit to a bit, and then of course you've got all your different tri-fold layers that you've got. But then you've still got your gatefold, etc., within that side. And then these ones here, what you do have is, if you want to go along, and then on the edge, let's take this one, Corrine, let's take what we've done a moment ago. So the front there. So if you wanted it to be, you've either got your scallop or you've got your kind of like your zigzag triangle. All you're going to go and do is follow that train in. So I'm just following that embossed line. Now I'm having it flush up against the side. That's optional. If you wanted it to be further in or a little bit more on the edge, you can absolutely do that. If you are doing that and you take it out, make sure you get it in the right place again, not like I've just done there, which I know that you will do. And then with this, there's a couple of options, because you're either creating your own embossed edge, which looks lovely. And if you're using anything such as Centura Pearl, do it on the white side, so you're pushing the detail through.
So you've got a raised.
So then when you flip it round, you've got that gorgeous raised edge. And then what you can do, and I'm going to do that relatively quick, you can either leave it as it is, or you can then go around with your scissors. I would always recommend to cut on the outside of the emboss, because you want to see that embossed line. It is personal preference. If you don't, if you just want to have a very, very smooth flush edge, of course you could, but the whole purpose of this is giving you that gorgeous embossed edge all the way round that you can see here. And that's what I meant by that. Could be as far along as you want to. It could be an angle if you want to. You can then even start to add these in with additional details, and I'll show you more when it comes to the actual boxer board in a minute. But use these, either eyeball them, or, as I say, use the boxer board that I'll show you just shortly. All of these lines, although they're there to serve a purpose, Corrine, when it comes to doing your card blanks, your shape cards, boxes, use them as decorative detail as well.
Yeah.
Just that little bit of a decorative detail is more than enough to finish off your card. And that's just that side. That's just that side alone. You've still got your different ones, as I said. But on the opposite side, what you've then got, and the key thing with this as well, is this gives you the ability to create so many of your key-sized cards and your envelopes as well. This is when you would then go to look to add on your envelope maker, you know, your envelope box maker and creator. But this itself gives you so many different options. I'm going to go.
You're using it, as you said, with the handle to the left. Rachel said, does it matter which side, as I'm left-handed? So I suppose what we're saying is we do it handle to the left. If you're left-handed and that feels a little bit, as we would say, cack-handed, if you want to put your handle to the right, as long as you use your paper up to the handle edge, that's the key, isn't it?
That's the key. You can be left, you can be right, you can be up, you can be down, as long as you are putting your cardstock up to the handle edge.
Yeah. I hope that helps, Rachel. She just said, so yeah. And I'm just going to keep finding questions as they come through. Jeannie says, which is best if you have both American 8.5 by 11 and your A4? Do you need both pros?
So, yeah. Do you know, it's one of those things as well, is because it depends on the amount of what size cardstock you use. Now, of course, because what we were saying there at the start, if you've got your Now, what was it we were saying? So if you've got your
A4, you use the metric.
you use the metric.
If you're using the US letter size, use the imperial.
That's right, yeah.
It depends what you're going to do, doesn't it? Because if you're just scoring, then either one will work. But if you're doing like Craig just did, and you want to do exact thirds, or an exact gatefold, or the try, if you put in US letter onto the metric one, they're not going to fit. No. They're not going to work, are they?
No, no. And the thing is as well is you can buy your letter size card and you can cut it down to UK A4, but of course A4, UK A4, you can't enlarge that to your letter size because it's bigger. So therefore, it depends on, do you use a lot of A4 cardstock or do you use a lot of your letter size cardstock?
But letter size is not as long as... So letter size is wider than UK, but shorter than UK, because it's 11 inches, and a UK one is nearly 12, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 11 a bit and a dot and a dash.
So for each one, so UK is narrower but longer, and US letter is wider but shorter.
Yeah, so it is.
I'm just trying to get that the right way around, but yes. So, yeah.
Essentially, they both do exactly the same things, it's just the measurement that differs because of UK size and, of course, your guys' stateside. So they both do exactly the same thing, you just need to work out as well what one. If you use A4 all the time, you can go for your A4, your metric. If you are going to use your letter size all the time, then go for that one as well. So they both do the same, it's just down to the measurement.
And we have got the imperial on the show, and we have got it on a bundle as well, so it's exactly the same deal. So yeah, just go and look on the website and make sure you click on the one that you need.
We're going to have a look at this side just shortly when it comes to making an envelope. But what you can do with this one is make your envelope. You can still create that little bit of a depth as well if you've got some of your decoupage or that you like to use.
These are envelopes, not boxes, what you're about to show.
That's right.
Do you know what, that chart, the first time I saw it, didn't half scare me.
It's quite scary, isn't it?
Yeah, you're like, wow.
Yeah, but it is. I always say as well, if you look at this one, just section it all off. Focus on just one at a time.
Just look at the square you need.
One at a time. Or look at the size of the envelope. Try and not get all worried and concerned and frightened with all of this. Just look at the one that you're wanting to make and then focus on that one at a time. So as you said, yes, it makes your flat envelopes. You can do that one with a little bit of a lip just to the side there to take in a little bit of depth, but you've got your envelope maker. All of this is your gorgeous corner detail, corners of your envelopes. When you come to make your own envelopes, it will do just shortly. You can just pop the corner in, do your own little refined embossed detail. Because you can do your pop-out cards, your K cards in here, that's what this side is for, which we'll show you just shortly. And then you've also got your holes. This is where your pegs come into play, which are included. It's your bow maker. So if you love to do all your different bows, maybe you can't do them freehand like I can, then this is a really, really good thing to have because you can then create them with the bow maker. But then if we go into the middle here, this is where we've got our essential size box maker. So we have got box lid on the left and box right on the side. You do have both centimetres and inches, and then you've got embossed lines if you want to go all the way around the edges, or if you want to then use them on the edges of your cards, you can absolutely do that as well. And then if I go into the opposite side, more of your K cards, your pop-out cards. If I bring in the booklet here just to show you, because all of or everything that you need to know is in this booklet that you get included too. So, you know, your gatefold square cards, as I was showing you, slimline, concertina cards, very similar to how we started a moment ago, simply cutting at an angle. But then this is where you've got your pop-out cards, your jump cards and that. So this really does enable you to get started straight away. Yes, we've got so many tuitions across on our YouTube, years worth. However, you've got this to start with. The K cards, there's your bow maker, that's all included as well. Different size boxes, techniques, that's all there. Aperture, you know, the magic rule technique that you've got. Envelope maker, wedge boxes, Everything is there, including that guide as well. So
Rachel's just asked a question about that, so I'm going to just keep firing you with questions. Rachel just said, I've lost the booklet. Can I get another one, please? Now, is that yours? I'm just going to say, while you've been doing that, I found it on my phone.
Yeah.
I found it on my phone. I was going to ask you what your fancy Dan little folder was under there.
This is,
There you go.
Every single one is on our website. So that's exactly what I have done. This was ages ago I've done this. I've printed all of these out from our website and I've got them all in their own little binder. Look at that one there. So there's
exactly the same, isn't it?
It's exactly the same. So I've done that with all of mine. So I've got both the UK guide as well as the US side. But your envelopes, your top score, your envelope pro, the boxer, you know, the big one.
Isn't it?
Which, by the way,
wow.
This is the one that you guys have been shouting about, saying we want that huge, great, big one. Is it back in stock? And Leanne herself was none the wiser that it's not been in stock. And she's away to kick some bums as to say, why is this not back in stock? It's not been in stock for ages. This is the huge, big envelope maker, the massive one. It's an A3 size board. That's how big it is. And she wasn't aware that it wasn't back in stock and hadn't been for a while. So keep your eyes peeled. I've even got like my Gemini man, all of these printed out from our website, all on the website. I've printed them out. So yes, if you lose them, you can absolutely go onto the website. So I know if you go to the download section.
I just took a minute to find the download. Let me just see if I can just backpedal to how I found it. So, excuse me, I've got my phone here, so it was just the only way I could do it. If you go to, to find downloads, you have to click on, I don't know if George, you can, all right. Right, so when you've gone here, there's inspiration, just there, look. Click on inspiration. Sorry, there we go. And then you click on downloads, just there. Oops, sorry, let me go forward. There you've got downloads, just on there. And then once you come on here, I've just clicked on blog because I was doing it backwards, sorry. I'm trying to do it upside down and back to front. Downloads, there we go. Right, when you go on downloads, hopefully you can see, there we go. When you go on downloads, go down there. Just keep going down, hopefully. Oh, he's got a good camera there, look at that. And then there you go, look, scoreboards. Click on that, and they're all in there. Sorry, that's not very technical, but that's the only way I could show you quickly how to do it. Yep. All of the manuals are there. So I was just, when Rachel's question came through, I grabbed my phone and thought, there we go.
You're braver than me doing that on TV, I'm telling you. Gosh knows what would pop up on my screen while we're live.
Let's just hope it wasn't time for my hubby to get up and send a good morning message, but there we go, right, perfect. So we've got Designed by Phaser says, hi Corrine and Craig, thanks so much for bringing the ultimate education back. Can't stress enough how phenomenally it has changed card making for me. And must have in your craft room. Right. Kelly says 8x2 by 11x6 is the US letter size. What size is A4? It's
a bit and a dot and a dash, isn't it? It's like, well, what is it? There was a craft expert years ago saying it must have been a guy that had come up with the size of A4 because it's an awkward size. It really is awkward. Inches, it's like 11 3/4. So inches, like 11 3/4 by 8 1/4. But it's when it comes to the centimetres, that's when it gets a little bit awkward. I've got my ruler here.
Yeah, so it is very slightly different. There's not a lot, but if you are folding a card in half or making a thirds or anything like that, then it will make a difference.
It is, yeah, because what are you? So centimetres is 29.5 and a bit.
Yeah.
And then
Thank you for the accuracy. That should be exactly 21.
And it is exactly 21, Yep. So it's a little bit awkward when it comes to A4.
There you go. So yes, it is indifferent. And it's the US one in inches, yes. And are the instructions in English? Yes. There you go.
So you've got...
What's up?
I don't know. It's Sunday morning. Sunday morning.
There we go.
So right at the back as well. So this is where your guide is then in there as well, so it holds nicely. Then this is where you've got your pegs. So your pegs here is where you can then create your bows. You do get 2 of your scoring tools as well. They are held nicely into there. Now we do have our paper trimmer. Now this one here, it is your centimetres and your inches. So I'll show you that just in a sec. And then what you've got here is you've then got your cutting blade here, which is going to enable you to use your paper trimmer. Now this holds a standard Stanley knife blade.
Yeah.
So it's held, it's nice and safe inside the middle when you get it. So all that you just need to do, of course, is then take the non-sharp side, of course, and can you see where you've got your 2 little notches just there? So all that you're going to do is you're just going to then go in with one side, and then you're just going to move that along so that it's at that next.
It's the tiniest bit out, isn't it?
Very, 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 very tiny. And you can get them very, very easily in your DIY stores to replace them. However, remember, you can do as well is once you start to feel that side's going blunt, just flip it over and use the other side as well. So if I keep that one out for now, and then this is where the paper trimmer.
This is ingenious. This is
so good, clever. Isn't it? It's so good. And this was a couple of queries, questions that I had on the Facebook post I put out last night on my page. There is a little bit of a knack to it. So you've got a channel that runs all the way through the centre. Now you've also got, it's like if I use my finger here. So basically it's like a little rectangle box that slots
I see what you mean
into it, so it slots in there.
So that it's not going to jump out?
So it's not going to jump out. So just make sure it slots and locks in for you to roll down. So once again, I'll take this just to say as well, as you can kind of gather, none of this cardstock gets wasted, we use it all, but I'm just doing this to show you. So you've got your inches. You do have your centimetres if you would rather do it down at the bottom there. And then let's say we're wanting to do a matten layer that's 6 by 6. So I'm going to go up to my 6-inch mark. Now it is every ½ inch on these ones here. And then all that I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to the top, and then key thing as well, so I'm going to move down, really making George work for his money today. Down here, see how that's very flexible?
Ah, right, yes.
Make sure that that is knocked up against that base panel at the bottom. So if you lift it up, you can see it's very flexible, whereas if you move it to the side, it locks into place just to the side here, so you know that that's not moving. I like to hold it.
They're giving you a hard time in your ear, aren't
they? They are
Craig?
indeed. They really, really are, because I've already broke a guillotine this week. And then I'm locking that into place, Corrine, and I'm just keeping it flat and flush and then pulling down. And then we've got our cut. And then if you're wanting to do that again at 6-inch or whichever measurement, make sure you're flush against the top there.
It's good to have that, the bumper bars, isn't it?
It is, yeah, it is. It's something I've not used quite a while when it comes to bowling, but I do use them a lot for my ultimate. So again, let's just slot that back in. I'm going to go into the 6. I'm making sure that I'm nice and snug down at the bottom here, holding it in, locking it in, because you've got that channel that the base here, that plastic coating, is then going to lock into, and then pull. And then you've got.
Do you know, if you craft on the go, you know, you craft at other places. You like, you know, going away. If you've got going away for the summer, it's got everything you need in there, hasn't it? It's just the ultimate craft room in a box, in a folder.
It is. It really, really is. Having everything there for you. This time, all that I've done, Corrine, has gone down to 5.5 by 5.5. And then doing that again, making sure it's all locked in. So you've got everything good to go, as you were saying. You can still do your concept cards, your envelopes, your boxes, but then your mats and layers.
Brilliant.
Perfect. So it's a good way to then use that, of course, when it comes to your ultimate. And then at the other side as well, what you can then do is you can start to store maybe about 3 or 4 plates you can store. So if you've got ones you like to use all the time, Corrine, you can just store them in there. What we'd say as well is open it up, pop that one into place. Let's
There's
put
a knack
our
to
tools.
opening this the right way so
There
everything
is.
doesn't fall out of there. And do you know what?
And you will do what I do all the time and open it the wrong way.
Yeah.
So yeah, the knack to it is that lay it on its side. So this side here has got everything in it.
Right.
So what you're wanting to do, where you've got all your score lines, lay that flat, open it up.
And then everything's in the right
And then
place.
everything's in the right place. What you will do, and you will probably do it time and time again, because I do it even to this day, is you open it the wrong way. Do you know what? It's not a biggie. There is a right way to do it, but please don't worry, because I always open it the wrong way.
Yeah, perfect, perfect. Excellent. Now, we've got a question. I'm going to read it as it says and see if you can pick it up. It says, are there any stoppers that fit the holes that the embossing boards line up against that would keep the boards anchored if you have it standing up? I'm not sure why you do it standing up.
Why would you be doing it standing
Don't know.
up?
I'm just reading. This is
Yeah.
Marcel. Asked the question.
Let's have a look. So let's bring
Yeah.
front one into here. Let's bring one of my boards. So I've got this board here. I've got one of the
So you've got
envelopes.
the little stoppers on the side. So you put the notches in,
Yep.
and they butt up against it. So that I'm not sure where
So-
else you'd put any.
No.
Are you?
No.
So Marcel, so what you can see Craig's done there is there's little pegs, and he's put the board around those pegs.
Here
Is there? Can
and
you see
here.
you've got the pegs, and all your boards fit against those pegs. So hopefully there, it won't move now.
No. Nope. It's all held into place, into position. You know, you can use these still as a standalone. However, the whole purpose of these ones is, yeah, they do fit there in together, nice and snug, and now you can do your envelope or scoreboard, whatever it is that you're using.
Yeah. Do you know if there is something on the Ultimate Pros that tells you whether it's the metric or the imperial?
Yes, we worked it out this morning.
Oh.
We did indeed,
Brilliant.
yeah. And I'm going to tell you, it's because it was new to me. Even I didn't realise. So, and I'm going to go on Nicola's lead with this one as well. Remind me, Nicola, because, so this one is this is our metric.
Yep.
UK one. The US one has a love heart and also a butterfly where the dragonfly is.
Ah.
So yeah, so yes, the scoring is different, but when it comes to the actual embossing, you've got a larger butterfly, and it is a love heart. So there's
And
a
then
visual
if you
difference.
turned it over to the score side on the other side, it wouldn't say half-fold A4, would it? It would
No,
say
it wouldn't.
half-fold letter size.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So every reference you've got on the metric that refers to A4 would refer to letter, and I think the A5 refers to, it says half letter.
Half, yeah, well, yeah, it will do. Yeah,
Yeah.
half letter. Yep, for
Yeah.
sure. So yeah, there you go. So that is the
There you go.
difference that
Hopefully
I
that
just learnt
helps
this
you,
morning.
Cindy. So the question that Candy said about was it in English? It said it meant in inches? Yes, it was in inches.
So I saw that did give me a chuckle. That did give me a little bit of a chuckle there.
Yeah, it is in inches. And also wondering what is the largest size envelopes you can make with this. We'll go through that.
We
as
will
go
do,
through
actually,
that.
yeah.
So don't worry, I hadn't ignored that one. It's just that we weren't at that point. Yeah, so when we get to that. Okay, Craig, I'm going to stop firing questions at you for a minute and let
Okey-doke.
you do the next bit.
No problem. Right, let's do that. Let's actually have a look at the envelope here.
That'd be brilliant.
Let's go in, because what we're going to do is, let's go in. Let's see if we can remember to open it the right way. I'm going to go in, and then you've always got the clip as well. Always, where possible, put that clip on, because it just holds it, combines it together and makes it nice and snug. And then if we go into our envelope guide here, now this is what I was saying about how it enables you to create all of these envelope sizes that are ones that you would tend to do quite a lot. Now I know certainly for you guys stateside, you would certainly be doing these sorts of sizes a lot because you do like your smaller ones. We're still on the larger card size, although we've started to do a lot more smaller ones because of the cost of postage. But what I am going to do is let's just stick right to the top here, because going back on what was said before, try not to overcomplicate it, getting yourself too worked up about all of the different measurements, all the different sizes. So if I just visually just block that one off. So what I've got here that I'm going to make is a C6 envelope. So it's going to fit an A6 card basically, as it tells you there, it's A4 folded into quarters. So to create a C6 envelope, I'm going to need a piece of cardstock at 21 centimetres by 21 centimetres. So it is in centimetres, although I tend to go for inches, it is in centimetres, just so that you know. And I've gone for the Centura Pearl. That's one of the colours that we've got within the bundle. We'll show you later on. And it lets me know 21 centimetres by 21 centimetres. So I've already cut that one ahead of time. And then it lets me know I need lines C and A. So that's all that I need to remember is C and A. So this is going to create a flat envelope. So what I'm going to do is I'm then going to go in and then I'm going to add this one in. Now, because I want the Centura Pearl on the outside, it means I'm going to fold in on itself. So I'm going to score my lines into the Centura Pearl coating. Now remember, I need C and A. So that's C, C, and then A. C, C, and E. There we go. So we're going to go into my position here. So I'm going to go right in and then I'm going to score at position C, which is here. So you've got your measurements at the top as well as the bottom. And then what I'm going to do is flip that one over as well. And then we're going to then score lightly.
At the opposite side to those measurements, there is visual instructions as well, aren't there, in the booklet?
Yeah, loads and loads and loads. So then what I'm going to do again this time is, now that I've already done C and C, we can then go in and do E. So you've got your letters all the way down embossed, you've got them down here as well, and the lines actually protrude down at the bottom, so you've got that channel run. So all that I need to do is then score at E, flip it over, and then score at E again. And then if I move that one out of the way, we can then just fold in and give that a really good burnish. So I'm just burnishing each way, all the way. I like to burnish first before I come along and cut my notches. So what we can then do is go in now, and you will find, it's very easy to see, but cardstock on the screen, it can make it a little bit difficult sometimes. So all that I'm going to do, so you can see as a visual, where you've got that crossover, that triangle, that is the whole triangle that you're going to cut out. So where it overlaps, cut that one out. I always like where I can, you know what I'm like, I like my little snippy scissors, any scissors that you want. If you do have your larger ones, your medium ones, all of them, all work a treat. The whole purpose is just to take the little notch out. So you're just cutting down to your score line, and then we can then finish off. So what we're then going to do is take this one here, and then if we fold them ones in, you can see that they're starting to come together. Now, in a minute, I'm away to cover something that's just been said in my ear, because it is not a stupid question. It's a really good question, and one that many might ask as well. So I'm going to leave you hanging for a second at home, and I'll cover it in a minute. Now, this is where now as well. Now, I apologise. I know it's sold out. But I think it's worthwhile just showing you that if you did get your punches, this is where you can then start to use all of your punches, and then it just takes your envelopes to that next level as well.
Doesn't that look much different?
So keep an eye on the website from being back in stock, but then there we go. So if you have bought that corner one, 3-in-1 corner one, over the last couple of days, then perfect. That's how you can be using them. But then what you can then do is just add in your adhesive down the sides, fold it in, and then there we've got a really, really professional Centura Pearl, or whichever cardstock you choose to use, envelope. Once again, let's just give that another burnish. You can see here. But then what you can also do as well, Corrine, is if I bring this one in here. Now, if I go into any one of these ones, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop that in. Now, you've got these deep embossed tabs here. So I'm just going to slot that one in. And if you want to use a little bit of low-tack tape to secure it, then by all means you can do. But then all that I'm going to do is I'm just going to get into that channel. And again, I'm doing it on the white side, so I'm pushing the embossed detail out. And then if I move that one around, then you've got that really, really cute embossed heart that you can see here. But what I will just do just quickly as well is let's take another piece here. Now I'm going to cut this one to that same size, which is 21 centimetres by 21, because Nicola has just said in my ear, and she did start by saying it might be a stupid question, and it's not, because many of you might think the same, and I've never thought to cover it before, and that is, why do you need to cut those little triangles out? You know, why don't you just fold it in on itself? So I'm going to go in, because we're on centimetres, let's go down into my centimetres, 21, and then I'm going to go in. So, see, I was nice and I was being safety conscious, and I popped it back in there. So let's move that one in, back in, clip it in, 21 centimetres. Let's add that in the channel, run, bring that one in once again, into place, and then as it is. That's right, yeah, because it's your size of A4. Yes, it is. So let's bring that one in. I'll move that one to the side just shortly and put it away shortly. So let's do exactly the same there so we can cover what Nicola just asked. So let's put that one in. So I need to do C and A. So going to then score. That used to be a clothing store, was it C and A, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. C and E. C and E.
C and E.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I'm scoring C and E. C and A used to be the clothing store, didn't
C
it?
and A, sorry.
Yeah.
I was looking at what I was... Oh, I had some cracking clothes from C and A.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I remember where they used to be in the old Overgate in Dundee. Yeah, gosh. Used to have to go in with my mum because I was obviously little. I was little. Right, let's fold these ones in now, like so. Now, let's say we did not cut out those triangles now. Can you see then, look at that chunkiness that you've got right down at the bottom?
Yeah, it's not as neat, is it?
It's not as neat whatsoever. It's not as professional. That's adding extra bulk, that's adding extra thickness.
It makes it look homemade.
It does, doesn't it? It really, really does. Whereas if you cut out those triangles, then you'll be able to see, excuse the black pen line that's just over the edge, but you can see the difference, the thickness that you've got from cutting out the triangle to that bulky, chunky, not nice looking. So it's a really, really good question there from Nicola.
Perfect, right, excellent. 2 comments, one from Robbie, very good. Robbie wrote, I wrote US in black on mine. Perfect, yeah, so yeah, if you've got them both side by side, write US. And then Cheryl says, do the different boards fit both versions?
Yes, yes, they do.
In an answer. Craig didn't even hesitate.
Nope.
Straight away. Now, I've got one more quick bundle to show you. Now, you've seen Craig using our Centura Pearl. This is a 90-sheet bundle, so it's 9 packs. Look at that. We've got mint green, Xmas green, fuchsia, dark chocolate, it's lovely, it's that one, snow white, Xmas red, Christmas red, turquoise, that's a beautiful colour. Cherry, now I think that has to be one of my favourite. Cherry and lilac are 2 I absolutely love. Now you're going to get 10 sheets of each of these. As you know, Centura Pearl is 310 GSM. You've just seen how perfectly it scores, it cuts, it folds, absolutely brilliant. Yes, it has got a white back, but you know, I think sometimes you really, really need that. So you're going to get that today. So they should be $3.99 a pack, but you're going to get those today for £28 or $50. Now look at that platinum price down there. £21 or £37.50. You're going to save an extra 25% if you're a platinum member. You're not going to regret this. This is something that you are going to use time and time again. It doesn't crack, it folds perfectly, especially if you use your scoreboard. I've just referred to that brilliant platinum price, giving you 25% off this weekend. So you need to know all about Club Inspire. So watch this quick little VT.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the crafters' companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every pound, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
Welcome to Crafters TV. With more than 35 hours of live shows each week, it's your home for all things craft. We shine the spotlight on new and innovative crafting products with live tutorials and demonstrations. Join our family of craft experts where fun happens every day.
The one that was really funny, Ben. You didn't.
It was better than your I'm a gnome and I live in a caravan.
I am a gnome and I live in a caravan. Can we clip that?
We'll do it. Everybody's gone surfing, surfing USA.
Get creative and craft along. With our amazing deals, your next craft project is just a click away. Tune in live 7 days a week, or you can watch us on Catch Up at crafterscompanion.com, Facebook, or our YouTube channels. You can chat to us, craft along, and meet new friends by joining our online crafting community.
You entertain us, you give us a community to talk, in the chat. That wouldn't happen without you guys. It's like Crafters Companion is magical. There's magic here.
There's a show for every type of crafter, from first-time dabblers to full-time makers. Crafters TV, create every day.
What makes Crafters TV so special is you guys.
It's really special because the experts are really experts. They're really skilled at what they do, and they want to make sure that the audience also improves on their skills.
Crafters TV is so special because you've got together a really sort of key group of people and people that are very passionate about the products.
Crafters TV is so special because it's a unique community that we have with each other where we can learn and grow and communicate with each other.
Community, the family spirit, the education, everything to do with craft. We are all like-minded people who share a passion.
I love all the inspiration the demonstrators bring and all the knowledge for us out here.
What makes Crafters TV so special? 100% it's the interaction. No other crafting TV channel or show has the same interaction.
I love the community, I love chatting live, I think that's the best part, and it's gone beyond crafting because we've become friends.
It feels to me to be a really, really close relationship with our customers and viewers.
You guys make us feel like we're part of your family. I've never been on the show before, but one of my friends who I did meet from CCTV encouraged me, and I was on the craft along.
A massive team of people, and I think they've all got their role to play, and it just brings everything together. It allows us to do our job and just love it.
The people, obviously. The people not just here at Crafters Companion, but the viewers that watch us. I mean, everybody. We have this real magical essence about it.
Bye for now. Bye.
Right, now we thought we'd answer some of your questions that you've been sending in. So our Nicola has gone running round and she got Jake working hard, and we managed to find a Imperial Ultimate Pro. So apparently it was right at the back of the cupboard, so look, she had to...
I've just spent like 4 minutes talking about the right way to open it.
Yeah, she didn't listen at all. She didn't listen at all. Now, as we said, you have got your butterfly. Oh, there you go. You've got your butterfly on there, and you've got your love heart down here, which is one way. Now, if you turn it over, I mean, you can't see this, but I can read it. So it says, gatefold half US letter, gatefold US letter, trifold US letter, half-fold US letter. So straight away, oh, and it even says down here, look, US letter size is 8.5 by 11. It's embossed on there. So, and these are all your, oh, and then on this side, it says scrapbooking sizes. See, I've never seen a US one before. So gatefold 12 by 12, trifold 12 by 12, and half-fold 8 by 8, and half-fold 12 by 12. So that is really, really useful. I didn't even know about those ones down that side, so that's really handy. And the other question, look at that, opening it the right way. I was listening to what Craig said. So here is the Ultimate Pro score booklet. Let me just see. And there you go. To answer the question for whoever was asking, which was, I have to go back. It was Candy. So there you go, look. So where it said, Craig looked at the first one here and it said A6 envelope, and it said 12 by 12, 21 by 21 square. This says 11.25 inch square, 8.25 inch square. So your piece of your cardstock is all in inches on there, and your envelopes are relevant to what you should be making.
I think
so
I need a copy of that one. I like that one.
Yeah, that's quite useful, isn't it?
Isn't it?
You can't have that. That's for ours in here. So hands off. There you go. So yeah, if you wanted the Imperial one, it's exactly the same deal. Obviously, we only sell that out to the US, but the price there, $69.95 or $52.46 if you are platinum. So hopefully that really helps. Right now, they're just telling me to get something else. So the next one we're going to look at, no more questions come through at all, or not on mine yet, is our Scoreboard and embossing board essentials. So what we're going to give you in here is your Scoremaster. Now this one doesn't fit onto your Ultimate Pro, but it's the ultimate sort of companion. So it just is really useful if you've got like that 12 by 12 cardstock, because it's that little bit longer. So you're going to get that, which we've got your centimetres and your inch markings on that. That goes up to 8 inches, so that's really useful. Just see if I can get that back in there. You've also got your Sweet Treats Scoreboard. So again, the Scoreboard, it's got the little notches top and bottom, and these will fit into both of your Ultimate Pros, your Metric or your Imperial, and Craig's going to give us a little demonstration on that. Oops, don't put it there. Then you've got your Envelope Box Creator, and again, this one is really, really useful. So you saw Craig make an envelope, and it just had the one sort of notch. Now this has got different notches on here, and you get a much bigger booklet to go with this. And what you've got in here, it's not really as daunting as it sounds, because it actually repeats itself. The first half is all in centimetres, and then the second half is all in inches. So what it's going to do, and I'm going to turn it around this way because it will make it a little bit easier for me, is your flat envelopes right up to an 8 by 8 inch envelope. So then you can have it with a 1/2 inch depth, and again you can do up to 8 by 8, 3/4 inch depth, and a 1 inch depth. Really useful. So if you've got a lot of dimension on one of your projects, this is going to go. Now these are envelope boxes, so they look like envelopes. They're not boxes with a lid and a base that separate like that. They're the same shape as the envelope that Craig just made, yet they've got a girth around the edge. They've got a gusset around the edge, so you know, all those lovely words. So yeah, you're going to get that. So it looks quite daunting, but the booklet actually is really easy to use. Now, we were working this out. So we worked out, didn't we, that this is a really good bundle, because not only are you getting those 3 boards, you're also getting your Carnival cardstock. Look at this. Isn't this beautiful? A gorgeous mix of encapsulated glitter and mirror card. So you've got your pink glitter, your pink mirror, your gold glitter, oh, that's a lovely yellowy gold, and your gold mirror, your brass and your mirror. You've got your blue, and then you've got your green. Absolutely perfect. So you're going to get that. You're going to get your tape pen, and you're going to get your red liner. Now, I worked out that if you paid for, no, what did I work it out? I worked out if you paid for your Scoremaster and your, that's right, I worked it out. If you paid for your Scoremaster, your Envelope box, and your red liner tape, you're effectively getting the sweet treats, the cardstock, and the tape pen for free, or a 50% saving, whichever way floats your boat, whichever way makes you feel happiest. It's a really good saving. So instead of £60.44, you're going to pay £30 today or $40. But again, your platinum price is dropping right down. Our Nicola's been working really hard to make sure all the prices show 25% discount, £22.50 or $30. How many of those prices are going to show 25% tomorrow? They're not going to turn back, and then somebody's going to wonder what the heck's going on when Johnny comes in tomorrow and all his platinum prices show 20. Is it still you, Nicola? All right, that's all right then, you'll know. Oh, Nicola's always here, isn't she?
Isn't she just?
She's working really hard. So if you want that, then go and pick up that. And again, as we said, all of those will work whether you're doing UK or US, and that booklet showed both. So sweet treats.
Sweet treats. I thought you were calling me Sweet Treat there.
Oh yes, always, Craig.
Yeah, Sweet Treats. Yeah, this is a fun board. This really, really is a fun board. Now, this is one actually. If you go back onto our YouTube, and you'll have seen the little masterclass I've done with Debbie Robinson just the other weekend. We actually made this one, a little picnic box, or as as George and Nicola are saying, little chicken nug boxes from your Happy Meal. You know, it has no affiliation to the Golden Arches whatsoever, but you know what? You can have your own little play when it comes to creating your own little smiley meal when it comes to the box. So that's what you can do there. You've got all your different embellishment scores as well. So all of these boards, you can use them as a standalone if you want to. However, the whole purpose of these have been designed with the notches in mind so that they sit in place. So they're nice, they're held in, they're nice and snug, good to go. So what I'm going to do is say that you are having a chilled night, you know, your husband or the wife or the grandkids or the kids, and you want to make your own little popcorn box. You can do that with this. However, the popcorn box as well also enables you to make a little birdhouse. So you can combine so many of the elements together. But let's go in and let's make a little popcorn box. So what we're then going to do is we're going to put our cardstock. Now again, I'm going to be scoring into my cardstock. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to then just make sure that I'm into place. Now at this point, I would say either make sure that you're snug either side. The whole point of this is make sure that your cardstock doesn't move. It's all held into place anyway. If you want to use a little bit of low-tack tape to secure it, you can do. What I would say as well is I wouldn't pop a piece of cardstock on both sides, because what you will want to do, and still do it as well to this day, is every now and again you might just want to double check that you are in that right train when it comes to the channel. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go in, I'm good to go, I'm going to visually have a look and see where I'm going, and then you've got two options here. Now you do have your square top, but you do have what's like a little scalloped, which you can then be using as the top of your popcorn box. The square top could be the top if you are using it as a, lost my train of thought now. You've got your scalloped if you're using it as a popcorn box, your straight edge if you're using it as a bird cage or a bird house. So I'll show you both in a moment, because what I'm doing here is you'll need to do it twice. So I've already got one good to go. So we're just going to go in, follow the train. This is what I mean by, if you feel as though you need to just lift up and check, you can do. So you work it. Other thing to point out as well is if you do go out of the line, don't worry, it's not going to mark that opposite side. It's only going to mark when your embossing tool goes into that channel line. So once again, once it starts, you're just going to go as far as it'll go, and then you're going to move it all the way along. So we're just going to work that one in. We're just going to work that across. And then you've also got your tabs. Now, if you are creating, whether it is a popcorn box, whether it is a birdhouse, on one of these embossed layers, you only need one of your tabs at the bottom.
Ah, yeah.
And I'll explain that in a moment. I've drawn around it anyway, and we'll cut around it, and then I can explain to you what you do when you only need the one. So again, let's just go and finish this one off here. I need to double check, so we're all good to go into here. So now I've done it so that we've just got the square top. But you do have, if I lift this one up, we do have the scallop. You've got all the stitch detail in that as well. You've got the little circle for the birdhouse if you're using it in that way. Same with the little door. Lots of additional detail. But let's go in and let's use the scallop. So we will cut the scallop out.
Oh, that could just be a lovely embossed detail.
Of course it could, that's the thing.
Side, couldn't it?
Of course it could, yeah. And in actual fact, the one that I've already done, because again, you need 2 of them, I have cut the scallop out, but it'll be a good way to show side by side how this looks like just with the scalloped as embossed detail. So if we take that one out now, then what we've then got is we've got our embossed detail, of course, of one side of the picnic. So all that I'm going to do is I'm going to use my scissors, and again, as I was saying beforehand, if you cut to the outside of the embossed detail, that's then going to give you that really, really nice embossed line, fine line all the way around, and it just adds to that look. So we're just going to work it round. This is no different than if it was a pencil line or a line that you've drawn around a template. The only difference is you're cutting around an embossed line. So you've got your tabs at the side as well. So if I cut all the way up, so you can then leave it with the square top and have your scallop detail, as you were just saying there, which would look quite nice. But I'm not going to do that. I am just going to cut out the scallop. Now, I am going to start at this side for ease. Ideally, I would start at that side and work across because I want to show you how to finish off that tab. Because you see how the tab is longer than where the scallop is. So all that you would do is just make your own little makeshift. So just cut. So just run in parallel. All that you're going to do is you're just going to run and cut up to the start of the scallop, and then you're just going to follow around. So what I would recommend as well is when scissors, and it goes for anything when it comes to cutting with scissors, use what you feel comfortable with. I do feel comfortable with the small scissors, that's why I'm not using them. Now you might think, well, if that's the case, why are you not using them? Using the larger ones for speed. It's a lot quicker when we're live to show you them with speed. But anything that you're cutting, whatever you feel comfortable with, whether it's the largest one, the smaller one, no point using something you don't feel comfortable with. You're not going to get that perfect cut. So keep that in mind.
And I'll show you a really good bundle with those in a few minutes.
Absolutely, yeah, you will. So then what we've got is we've got the 2 of them. So you need to do that twice. So the best way for my mind, what I do is I do them both exactly the same. But then on one of them, you only need 1 tab. You only need the 1 because that's then going to join onto that one. So then all that we need to do is we need to just come along and we're just going to give them a really, really good burnish. Whether you're using the tools that you've got included within the Ultimate Pro, or maybe you've got one of the white bone folders, but we're just working our way around. We're going to then create our own little popcorn box, because now, essentially, we're not doing anything different than what we'd be doing when it comes to creating boxes.
Just before you put that together,
yeah.
I think you might have answered it since the questions come through, but it just says from Chantal, question for Craig. Do you cut off the embossed line or cut up the centre or keep the embossed line? So I just wanted you to show before you put everything there.
The embossed line.
When you cut it, you know when you've done this.
Got you, yeah. Yes, I keep it. So if you cut just to that outside of that embossed line, so you can see how you can still see the embossed line.
It's really neat, isn't it?
It's very, very neat. You don't have to. If you don't want that embossed line, of course you don't have to cut to the inside of the line. However, it gives you that professional, that embossed line all the way. So yes, cut to the outside so you can still see that embossed line. And then all that I'm then going to do now is I'm just going to come along. Let's bring in my tape runner, which we've got here. So I'm going to add my adhesive on to here. So I'm just going to lay that one into place. So overlapping, pressing that one in. And then what we're going to do is we're going to fold that one in. Best way to do this is fold it in on itself, and it naturally falls into place.
And it will do, because you've used a template, so it can't go anywhere else,
No,
can it?
not at all, not at all. So then all we need to do now is I'm just going to come in here and I'm just going to add my adhesive once again. So see what I mean by we don't need two of these, because then we're just going to be left with one on each side. So all that I'm then going to do is you can either do the base here when you attach one side that I've done a moment ago. You might want to then pop all these bits in before you form it, but I do like to form the whole side of the popcorn box and then do it this way, pop the base in. And then all that I'm going to do is lay it on its side, and then I can just go in with my scoring tool, and then all that I'm doing is I'm just pushing the tabs in, and then we've got our little popcorn box.
How
that you can
quick
see.
was that?
And then, while you're there, I am running in studio.
Oh.
Because Sarah left something the other day, and bless her, no one's eaten them.
Oh, is that from Sarah, is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, there.
So you've then got
There you go. It was made for it.
Yeah. That could be a little toffee popcorn or cinema popcorn or whatever it is that you want. You can then do so that. They told me they weren't nice. I hadn't tried them.
Well, it was sealed, wasn't it?
Just joking. But yeah, there you go. You've got your little pop. And you can do all the embossed detail down the side as well if you wanted to. Match and layer. The other thing, just very quickly, Corrine, as well, what you could do is, let's take a piece of that cardstock that I used earlier, so we're not wasting this bit. Say you want us to do mats and layers for them.
Yeah.
What you can then just do is either go around and do the whole lot. I should not have ran and then put something in my mouth afterwards. Either do exactly what I've done a moment ago and then cut it out, or just do your individual panels. We can then lift that one up so that we've got essentially our outline that you've got here. And then what you can do, of course, you can be using your paper trimmer for speed for this, because I'm kind of jumping ahead here. What you can then do is, this is when you would look to cut on the inside of your embossed line. So if I then cut all that one around, spend a little bit more time than me. But then what you can then do, now of course I've done the scallop, but then you can see how you've got all of them. And then if you want to make them that little bit more of a shallower mat and layer, take a little bit more. So yes, use the actual boards as a way to create your boxes or whatever it is that is on the scoreboard, but then also use them as a way to do your mats and layers as well. So I would just go around that scallop and then cut that one out. But then you can still use that as an aid to do your mats and layers, whether it's your cardstock, your pattern paper, anything like that. But they really are simple to then score, cut, and then assemble.
Brilliant. Well, thank you for that. That was really useful. So that is your sweet treat embossing board that's part of this deal here. It's your scoreboard and embossing board essential 7-piece set, £30 or $40 today. So that's perfect. Right, now, one quick question. Jane Farmer says, is it easier to use the single-ended score tool than the double-ended score tool? As I have fibromyalgia and find it so painful, I would like to make them as I have all of them.
Can you say that one again for me, Corrine?
Is it easier to use the single-ended score tool than the double-ended score tool?
Single-ended, then the double?
Yeah.
Or is it easier?
Ah, right, it says then, it might mean than. Is it easier to use the single-ended than it is to use the double-ended one, I'm guessing?
Do you know something?
It's find the score tool that works for you, isn't it?
That's exactly it. That's exact. Obviously you have issue with the hand. I couldn't come here and say, oh yeah, it's going to be easier for you to use one over the other. For something like that, it's what is most comfortable for you. There is no right or wrong. You may see us using certain ones all the time. It's just no right and wrong. It's purely down to one, preference, and two, what you can handle when it comes to your hand. So there's no right or wrong. It's what's comfortable for you. It's what's pain-free for you. Use whichever one is best.
Great. I mean, I was watching you, and you probably don't even notice you do it, but when you score, and I was watching Jan do exactly the same yesterday, you score, and you score, and maybe you score again.
Yeah.
You're not trying to score down to Australia when you do it. You're not trying to hold that and score down. It's quite a light touch. It's a light touch and repeated scoring. You're going to get a better score line, and it might be easier on your hands. So don't try and grip your score tool. I've opened it the wrong way. There we go, let's turn it the right way round. When you get your score tool, you haven't got to grip it and try and go all the way down. Just hold it as gently as you find. Score and score. And if you have to do 4 or 5 scores, then so be it. Just find the way that works for you. And really, you don't want to, if you go through, you're going to break those fibres and possibly tear your cardstock.
Exactly.
So a light score is going to be better anyway. And I've noticed that everyone that I watch does that as well. So yeah, light and gentle, and just try and find the score tool that works for you, because you'll get a better result. So hopefully, Jane, that helps. And
well, Corrine, is you may love the Ultimate Pro or that. You might have another branded score tool that feels more comfortable with your hand. It's still going to work. Of course, ours are, it's perfect. They've been designed, manufactured to work hand in hand, but that does not mean that you cannot use another branded scoring tool with our scoreboards. It's still going to work.
Right,
oh, no.
Okay, right. I lied. We're not going to look at scissors. We're going to look at this one here instead.
A steal.
Right.
A lie, a cheat, a steal.
You're right there, look. Yeah. Was that popcorn really good?
Yeah.
I think he's on a sugar high. Right, we're going to look at our essential cutting tool selection. So this is our cutting tool essentials. So this is your self-heal mat, and it is 11. But it gives scoreboards by 11 by 11, but the actual one is 9 by 12. So your letter size will fit on there perfectly. So you've got that. That's your self-heal mat. To work with that, we're then going to give you your acrylic ruler that's, 12 inches or 30 centimetres. And it's got, you can't see there, but this side there, you can see, there you go, look at that. That is a metal or a steel edge to it. That is perfect, because in this bundle, we're also going to give you your 2 craft knives. Now, this is a straight edge blade, so you can see it's a much larger blade. Oh, you can see that there. And then when I first joined, I was like, what the heck is this one? It's got the tiniest little blade poking out. And now this one is your swivel blade. And what it does is you can do as it says, you can swivel on your cardstock. You can go around corners, whereas that one can be quite difficult. This, because the blade turned in it, yeah, Craig, good swiveling, thanks. Very good swiveling.
My impression of a swivel craft knife.
Really easily, absolutely. So you could possibly do your scalloped edge on your popcorn box with that. It would be much, much easier. We're also going to give you your 6-inch scissors, so they are perfect. And we're also going to give you your little distress tool. So a really lovely cutting tool selection there. So you get the mat, the blades, the ruler and the scissors as well. So that is perfect. So that today is £25 or $35. But look at that platinum price. It is $18.75 or $26.25. What are you saying to me in my ear about pancakes?
I've never heard of that before.
International House of Pancakes. Oh, somebody's going there. Michelle Harris is going to the International House of Pancakes.
Oh.
IHOP. We're very jealous, Michelle.
Very.
Very jealous. Yes. One quick question. Oh, we want to see pictures of your pancakes. Yeah, thank you, Michelle. That's not come through on mine. Does anyone know how to do the purse plate? I have never been able to figure it out. It has the flower and shamrocks as extra. The purse plate. Do you know which one that is?
I know what I do know that there is a video on YouTube with that one.
Oh, there you go. That's how to do it.
There is one on YouTube for that one. We'll see maybe if we can find it in the little bit of time that we've got left. But yeah, there is one on YouTube.
Perfect. There you go. So hopefully, Elizabeth, go onto YouTube, Crafters Companion YouTube page, and put purse scoreboard, and hopefully it will come up on there. So hopefully that will help you. Okay, so that was our essentials cutting tools. Which one are we going to next? Or we're going back to the Ultimate Pro. We're going to go look back at our Ultimate Pro. So, as we said, this is our metric one. If you do want the Imperial one that has all the score markings for your letter size cardstock, then make sure you pick up that exactly the same price, exactly the same deal. Today, $39.99, and that is the price for your Ultimate Pro. Never varies, $69.95, but we're going to give you your boxer board and your tape pen for free. Look at the price down there, $29.99 or $52.46. It's a bargain. Whether you're getting your metric or your Imperial, it's the same price. So Craig,
yes,
can you show us something else with this,
Yeah,
please?
let's have a look at the boxer board now, because I've already got it into place here. So same as our scoreboard from before, it just sits nicely into place. Now, when it comes to that Centura Pearl bundle Corrine was showing you there, I've gone for the dark chocolate as well as that fuchsia. And they're both exactly the same size, so 8 by 6. So let's do our box lid first. So I'm going to do this at 1 inch in depth. So once again, we're still going to be going up to our handle side. And then I'm just going to score at the 1 inch. Now you've got all the way up to 1/8 of an inch. But as Corrine was saying before, all that I'm doing is lightly and a few times, 2, 3, 4 times, just lightly, but then re-go over it. And it just means you're gently stretching all of the fibres. You're not going to get any that are going to then start to split. So we've got the start going of our lid. Now, you'll have maybe heard or seen me talk about the Score Master, which is on the show as well, but when it comes to the box base, because you've still got your inches up at the top. So you've got inches on one side, you've got centimetres on the other. So exactly the same as things such as our Score Master. The inches along the top are the true measurements, but down at the bottom where you've got your box base, it's not quite true when it comes to the actual measurement size. So I've gone in, and this is where I've scored at 1 inch up at the top. Down here, we also have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 inches, as I was saying. But again, this is not accurate in the actual size. It's just a couple of millimetres, if that, out of place. Now, I find it very, very hard to score upwards. So this is where what I do is then I just flip it around. So whether it is the Ultimate Pro, whether it's the Score Master, whichever one that it is, I still then just flip it around, and then we score at the 1 inch. So scoring at the 1 inch, and then I'm going to go in, work my way around each place, in with the scoring tool, finishing off, and then that gives me my box base. So really nice, really simple boxes, different sizes, different lengths, different depths that you can then create with these ones as well. But then what you can also do is then you can start to add your decorative dies around the edge of the lid. So if I bring this one in, the other thing you can then start to use is things such as your new punches. So I've gone in with the Deco Fan Punch, and then what we're going to do is I'm going to create a little bit of a guide for myself. So essentially what I want is I want them to be symmetrical and parallel. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to come down here. So where we've got our inner panel, I'm going to measure this inner panel here, which is, so the inner one is 6 inches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a mark at 3 inches. So I'm going to do that at 3 inch. And then if I turn it around on itself, which the actual inner layer here is 4 inches. So I'm going to do a mark at 2 and then 2. So essentially, all that I'm doing is these inner tabs, I am creating that central point. So creating that central point here, and then that's what I'm going to work from. I'm going to start with that central point and then work out when it comes to the punches. Now, if you've seen them with Debbie on Friday, you'll know, of course, yeah, perfect for the corners, or then all that you just need to do is press and take that out. Now, that becomes a border punch. So what I'm going, this is where I find it ease, where instead of going face down, because of course I don't know where I'm going in blind. So I'm turning it around, and then we'll maybe see, can we just see where that pencil line has appeared down into here? So Georgie's a way to get a little bit closer. So we can see it's just it's pure white there. So if I keep moving that along, and then there's the pencil line. So what I'm going to do is I'm then going to line that one up. Now what I am going to do as well is I'm going to move it down, because I want that very top point of the punch to run along the edge of my cardstock. So I'm doing what I've done there, and then I'm just going to go right to that point, and then I'm going to press. Now what I'm going to do is, let's just take that excess out. This point here, right to that left-hand side, that's then going to marry up against that right-hand side there. So we're going to marry up. I'm right against the edge, and then press. And then we're going to keep going all the way along. And then, because we're upside down, and I don't have my little waste collector in, you're just going to have to tip it out. What you can also do as well is, as you go in, marry it up. If you don't have the pressure at this point, grip it slightly like I am, and then you can move it, and then you can lay it down if you want to and press. But what to do as well is then, I only go as far as I need to the end, because we'll do a little bit of snippage just shortly. And now what we've done there, we're going to do exactly the same on this side. We're just going in that reverse way. So I'm marrying up right against the edge, and then cutting, and then we can then keep going all the way along, and we're just going to keep on going. So find that central point, and then you can see you're starting to get that decorative edge. So if I then do this one as well, so once again, find that central point, and then I'm just going to keep working my way along, and I'm going to do this bit relatively quickly now. So keep going, and then finish off that side. So if we'll work it in to the left, and there's nothing stopping you as well. You might want to do this side and this side with one punch, that side and that side with another punch. You might want to have a play, but we're just lining them up. And I do want to do
that centre of pearl beautifully, doesn't it?
An absolute dream, yeah. And that's what myself and Debbie were saying on Friday, that I know that, of course, at the moment we've only got a few of the individual punches left, but the website does say, recommend 250 GSM. However, it's not the case. It may say recommendation. However, all of us on the team, I'm sure you remember as well, Corrine, we all got an email from Holly, who deals with our schedule at Hobbymaker, and that just to make it clear that all of our punches go through 300 GSM, 310 GSM, absolutely no problem whatsoever. That's just a little recommendation on the website, which tends to be around about our linen weight. However, as you can see, no problem at all through the 310 GSM. So if we finish all the way around here, so then what we've got is we've got our edges for what's going to be our box. So all that I need to do for this one is I'm just going to snip this excess. Any little bits that have still got that connecting point, just cut them away. Cut them away. And then I'll show you one of these corners. So if I then cut this one, because now what we're wanting to do is we're just left with a joined corner. So I'm going to cut down, and then what I'm doing is I'm going to create my own little tab. So cut there, cut that away, and then we've got our tab. I'm just going to neaten that one up slightly so we've got our own little bit. So then that creates that miter corner. So let me just do that just once more for you to see. So it gives you the edges of your box so they're nice and crisp. So I'm just going to create my own little tab. Let's take that one out, And then again, I could use all that, but let's just neaten it up. So then that gives us our 4 points, so 2 there. You'll do 2 exactly the same at the top, nothing different. I've just used my red liner tape because I was prepping it last night, but you can still use your tape runner. So if we take these ones off when it comes to our tabs, which is here, here, fold them ones in, press them ones into place because we've created our own little makeshift tab, into here, work it in, and then let's just take this one again. So this was the box base that we're done. So let's just cut our little knacks out there. So we're just going to cut down to the score line.
Chantel is feeling very sorry for the studio cleaner.
Jake.
Jake, yeah.
Well, I think you'll find you're lying there, Nicola. You are not the one that sweeps up. And I can tell you that because how many of you, right, when it comes to any of these little bits, the bits out of dies, off of foam pads and that, how many of you, I'm speaking to Nicola and anyone here in the studio, how many of you actually end up cleaning up after me? How many, I think, yeah. I always clean up after myself. How long were you sweeping up after Debbie Robinson on Friday? Oh, I don't know, Nicola, how?
About 3 hours.
Not about 3 hours. Oh, gosh. But no, I always sweep up after myself. I do. I'm a good egg. So we've got now, if we made that box lid, but without going round the edges with our punches, and we just use the scallop
chocolate
detail.
And pink.
But then what you can then do is if you have done your edges, your lids, perfect, all the way round. And it's just a nice way to show how you can then do either or, so your box base, or go in with, of course, your punches. It all works really, really well. And you can do that with your boxer board.
I was busy looking, Jake's just fetched me 2 plates. I was trying to answer the question from Elizabeth. Do you know how to do the plate purse? She said it has flowers and shamrocks as extras. And neither of those have flowers or shamrocks. Well, they're flowers, but not shamrocks. So I don't think I've got the right plate still. Never mind, because this is quite obvious. This plate, you just make that one up round the outside, and then that's like your base, and it folds up. And then this one would be, you have 2 of them. You can see 2 of them, and they just slot in side by side, but there's no shamrocks on there, nor on that side, nor on that side. So we still haven't got to the plates that Elizabeth was asking about. Really sorry, Elizabeth, we have tried. We've had a quick look. You'll have to post a picture of the plate, and then we'll see if we can catch up and work that one out. Right, Rosalind Russell says, say you have a bracelet you want to make a box for. How do you measure for custom boxes?
Do you know something? Great question. And I tell you what, we'll do that just shortly.
Okay, perfect. Jenny Briggs says, could you use the heat erasable pens to mark the right side before you punch?
I don't see why not. I've never used them before.
I was reading that and I was thinking, you know, when you did that, because you punched off the bottom, if you used maybe like any pen, white pen, black pen, and just marked at the bottom at the bit that's going to punch off.
Absolutely.
Or a pencil and just rub it out if it goes all the way along. Yeah, you could do it on the right side, but like Craig showed, it punches perfectly well upside down. Right, we're going to do another quick VT, so we shall go to there. So we're going to give you a little bit of a video all about CTV.
Welcome to Crafters TV. With more than 35 hours of live shows each week, it's your home for all things craft. So, join our family of craft experts with live tutorials and demonstrations every day. We shine the spotlight on new and innovative crafting products here on Crafters TV. Get creative and craft along with our amazing deals. Your next craft project is only a click away. Tune in live 7 days a week or watch on catch up at crafterscompanion.com, Facebook or our YouTube channel. You can chat to us, craft along, and meet new friends in our online crafting community.
You entertain us. You give us a community to talk, in the chat. That wouldn't happen without you guys. It's like Crafters Companion is magical. There's magic here.
You all had time with each other! You're not through to boot camp. Get off!
There's a show for every type of crafter, from first-time dabblers to full-time makers. So, stop what you're doing and enjoy the fun here on Crafters TV.
Who is one of my unsung heroes at Crafters TV? It has to be our lovely John. Not only does he corral our coordination team together, but he also looks after us experts really well. He comes out to visit the expert house where we need to stay, to fix things that are broken. He looks after us, he looks after everything that we need, and even brings me cups of tea during the show.
Yeah, I should have said John in there too, shouldn't I? But we all know John's an unsung hero.
We get to know people from places and walks of life that we wouldn't come across in our everyday life if it wasn't for Crafters TV and doing what we do.
I got so many lovely comments from people when I started doing the presenting, and it was just really such a lovely feeling. And it's nice that people keep messaging in. We see the same people. We know you can build up that kind of relationship with those people. So it's just the fact that people like what we do and they're pleased. And I do love it when people send us photographs of the items that they've made.
We talk about customers, but really they go in as a customer, come out as a friend. The support that I get is amazing. The messages I get are amazing.
Me personally, it is personal interaction. I've never had the best of health. I've always been open about that with our viewers at Crafters TV. So many people are in the same situation as me health-wise. Other people have got a completely different health issues. They understand and they relate to what I'm going through, what others are going through. So whether we interact on a crafting basis or whether we interact on a health basis, a personal basis, we're all there to support one another. It is incredible.
The reaction of viewers when they come to meet us is worth all of the early mornings when we have to get up for our early morning shows.
Some of the customers come on as craft ambassadors and things like that, craft along with us, and being able to actually chat with them on air. I love it. I really love that connection with them.
We've had lots of shows where we've done like craft alongs, especially where we've had viewers craft along with us. We had a particular viewer, Joy, who joined us once before, and she literally made me cry on air, and Joe, because the things she said about us, it really was quite humbling that there are people out there that watch us and invite us into their living rooms and really treat us like family.
And welcome back. Right, I think we have covered all of your questions so far. So we're going to pop back to Rosalind Russell's question. Says, say you have a bracelet you want to make a box for, how do you measure for custom boxes? I should have given you a bracelet, shouldn't I? Mm-hmm. Swallow, Craig, swallow, quick. He's not eating the popcorn. Mm-hmm. He ran off and he was hungry. Mm-hmm. Right, so say you had a bracelet like I've got, and you wanted to make a box for it to fit in.
Yeah.
How would you do it?
Well, I would need the bracelet so I know the size, if that's okay.
I want it back afterwards.
You want it back?
Yeah.
I want it back. That looks like a C.
It is like a C.
Craig and Corrine.
There we go.
There you go. Okay, doc. So, what I'm going to do is let's take a piece of card. I like to always just give myself a little note as well. So, let's take the bracelet here. So size of it, I would always have a look at the size. So let's say it's 3 inches by, so 3 inches by 2 1/4, by 2 1/4. So this is just the way that I always like to do it as a guide. So I just do myself a little bit of a guide. So as I said there, 2 1/4 by 3 1/4. So it depends on the thickness, because the thickness as well. Let's say I'm going to do a box 1 inch in depth. So what I want to do is, because it's 3 1/2 plus, I want to add 1 inch on, and then I want to add 1 inch on as well. And then it's 2 1/4 plus I want to add 1 inch on, plus I want to add 1 inch on. So that's going to be 2, 3, 4, 4 1/4. So 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. So let's take my cardstock. Now again, I know we've got the paper trimmer, but I'm just going to use my guillotine for speed. Take my cardstock, 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. So let's do that one there by 5 1/2. So if I pop that back in there, you can kind of see where we're going, taking into account that we're going to have an inch all the way round. So I'm going to do the same with another piece so that I've got the base. So 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So say as well, let's say you didn't want it to be an inch in height. Say you want it to be 1/2 inch. Then instead it would just be the length of it plus 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch, or the width of it plus 1/2 inch plus 1/2 inch. So see whatever the size of the item that is that you're wanting to box, and then all you need to do is add on the thickness, the depth of the size of the box. So that's where we've got these ones here. So let's go in now, let's just go back in with our boxer board here. That can be my lid, and as we said, we're going to do...
If you use the same colours, you could put L, as somebody just wrote here, you'd put L and B on for lid and base so that you could see which you'd done. But you've got different colours, so you'll be able to remember which is lid and which is base.
Definitely, for sure. So going in with the actual lid of it, and then we can then score. So if I then bring in, we can see how we're starting to just get that little bit, that it's maybe just a little bit tight, but we'll get that working anyway. So we can see it moving that one out of the way. And then all that we're going to do is turn that one around again. Let's just add on. The good thing as well, although it is our boxer board that I'm using, it doesn't matter the size of the item you want to box, because it could be, for instance, like that one there, I think, what did I say? So it pretty much is 2 1/4, and I've measured it 2 1/4. Because you've got your 1/8 of an inches, it means that you can add on that tiny, tiny little bit if you so wish. So let's go in, let's move that one out the way. So let's bring this one in, just going to fold and burnish.
Just to let everybody know, we've got about 15 minutes of show left. If you've got any last questions, if I've missed any of your questions, I'm pretty certain I've answered them all. I've been trying to keep an eye on them, but if we've missed any questions in this, you've got a really desperate need to find anything else about the Ultimate Pro or any of the scoreboards, and I'm sorry we couldn't answer the one about the bags because we weren't sure which one it was, but if you've got any questions about any of them, please come through, because like I say, we've just got on 15 minutes of show left, and I'd hate somebody to be sat there going, oh, I really wanted it, but I didn't know, a certain answer. We would obviously try and answer them as we can. There we go.
Absolutely. So let's go in with that one there. This is where we're saying as well, even although I've used 2 different colours, could I put a little note on there, because I can't remember which one I'd done as lid and base.
Blue was lid.
Was blue the lid?
Yeah.
And then you would soon find out anyway when you start to join them together. Yeah. Sometimes it maybe wouldn't be a big issue unless you specifically wanted a certain colour to be the lid or the base. So we're just going to join these ones together, add that one in, put my tape on here. So I think we're just going
to... for tape pens, they just make life so much easier.
Oh, they do, don't they? They really, really do. The difference that they make. So working it right. I've got a funny feeling it might be just a little bit too tight, but do you know what? Let's try it anyway and see when it comes to our... Oh, no, there we go.
There we go.
There we go with our... There you go.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Absolutely perfect.
Taking whatever the size of the jewellery or whatever it is that you want, taking the size, the height as well as the width, and then the actual depth of the box that you want it to be, that's all you need to add on. So if it is, for instance, that one, it was 3 1/2 inches, so I added 3 1/2, 1 inch, and 1 inch, and then because the width was 2 1/4, so we've got 2 1/4 plus I added 1 inch and 1 inch, so that we've got the depth all the way round, and then a little box.
There you go.
There you go.
Right. Okay. Thank you. Hopefully that answers the question. Right. I think. Thank you so kindly.
It's a present for you.
Thank you. I think that was the plate that Elizabeth wanted. She says it looks like the second one. She said, my bad, not a shamrock. So it's got all these flowers on here. So basically you need 2 of these. I don't know, you've got time to go rogue on that?
There is one on that one on our YouTube.
Look on our YouTube, and we've definitely got one. So basically, you cut this out twice and fold, and then what you do is those lock together on either side, and it will go. And see, that would be a cut line there. That one, it's a score. That's a fold line. That's a cut line, and then those will fold up, and then those are the sides, and those 2 will just interlock on the 2 different ones. So you'd need 2 of those, whereas on the other one you'd only have 1. But seriously, have a quick look on YouTube. It hasn't got a name on here as to what the plate is. But if you just try searching YouTube on Crafters Companion for handbag, scoreboard, it might come up, because that, is quite like that. Because I think that might be a handbag. It might come up as handbag. So there you go. Right, we have just got time to go over a few more bits. So we've had a quick look at the Ultimate Pro. We've had quite an in-depth look at the Ultimate Pro. There's the bundle. Remember, the metric and the imperial both work priced exactly the same, $39.99, $69.95, with a platinum price of $29.99 or $52.47. Now what you're going to get is you're going to get your Ultimate Pro with your all your tools, your score tools and your blades and your little pegs. Oh, Craig, have you got time to show us how the little pegs work for the bows? Have you got some ribbon?
Yeah, I've never done one before.
Oh, haven't you?
No, I always do mine by hand.
Oh, I always do mine. Do you want me to do one?
Have you done one before?
I've done one, right. We'll do that in a minute then. I can show you that. And you're going to get your scoreboard and your tape runner, tape pen for free. Now, we had a quick look at our scoreboard and embossing board essentials. Let me quickly grab this one from down here. If you've already got the Ultimate Pro, oh, thank you so much. If you've already got the Ultimate Pro, you might want to do this one, which is giving you the Scoremaster, which is 8 inches in width. It's also going to give you your envelope box, which is brilliant, and you'll find so many videos on that, but you've actually got pictorial instructions just there. Then you'll also give you your sweet treats board, and again there's loads and loads of tutorials on that, but Craig has shown you how to do that. You're going to get your cardstock, all of your cardstock. It's your Jubilee, did we say? What? Carnival. Why did I say Jubilee? Carnival cardstock. It's also going to give you your tape pen and your red liner tape, which is brilliant for, both of those are brilliant for box making. And that today is £30 or $40 with a platinum price of £22.50 or $30. Right, now let me show you very quickly how to use the bows. So really easy. So as Craig said, we open it up the way we should do it, and in here you'll find 3 little pegs. Now I only use 2 of these at a time. I think the third one is a spare. So all you do, pop it back down. I'm just going to pop it on there, and then you pop your pegs in. Now look at this, you could got all of this, so you could put your pegs apart. You can even put them there if you want little diddy ones. So let's just go there, because that will work nicely. That one just wants to go in there. Right, so all you do is, I'm going to do it towards me. So you take your ribbons, you wrap them round. Let me just come around here. There we go. Take your ribbon and wrap it round. Take the top piece. Can you see this one's at the top? And that's going to go underneath there and through. And then you just tie a little bow, just like that. And then let me just pull that tight. And then when you slide that off, you then just put the ribbons in the right place And there you have your perfectly even little...
How cute is that?
Bow. There you go, can you see? Absolutely. Let me put my hand behind there so you can see. Perfectly shy bow. Now, what you can do is you can move the ribbons, the pegs apart. So let me just, navy ribbon is fun to look at. See if I can untie that. Just get that loose. There we go, that's coming loose. So if you pull, I can't even see where I'm going.
It's one of those that I just always automatically just tie myself.
Do you?
Yeah.
It's fine if you're doing little ones, but if you've got a large, say you've got really chunky ribbon, pull it apart, you can put it on like that. I still take the top ribbon, come underneath, you take this. I have done so many bow tutorials over the years with people. You take the ribbons around just there and tie them. So I'm going to can get this one a bit neater straight away. So I'm going to pull my ribbons equally to the side. Look at that. And then this size would work better with a chunkier ribbon. And then you can see straight away, if I hold that, we've got a perfectly sized, there we go, ribbon. And again, like I say, that one would look better with a big, thick ribbon.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you just take your pegs and then you just move them along depending on how big you want them. So you can come, oops, I've pushed that one in right there. So you've got so many variations of sizes that you can make. There you go, absolutely brilliant. So yeah, there we are. So if you want to use that, that is on there as well. And like I say, I think that third one is just a spare peg in case you lose it. But if you've got your Ultimate Pro, you've always got a bow maker to hand. So there you go, I love it.
Perfect, there you go. See, even I learn things every single day.
There we are, perfect. Right, now, so yeah, if you want your Ultimate Pro, there is your bundle. Right, Rosalind says, it's okay to read this out. So they have checked. Says, thanks, Craig. Need to save this video. I'm giving my daughter a tennis bracelet for her birthday, and I want to put it in a custom box so she won't know what it is for a surprise. So
Brilliant.
there you go. That will work perfectly.
That will work really
Absolutely.
Nice. Do you know what I would do as well, Corrine?
What?
If you can't, some tissue paper, a little bit of tissue paper inside, something like that, and then that's the only thing you need to add.
Yeah. She also says, even though I have other bow making tools, the Ultimate is my go-to for bow making with ribbon. So there we go. And I think you answered this, but just to go across, Elizabeth says, do any of the scoreboards go inside the Ultimate?
Yes, they do. So they won't all go through. You'll maybe get between maybe 3 or 4, maybe 5 at a push just into that back. But yeah, if you've got some of your favourite ones, maybe your actual enveloper box, maybe you're going to be using the box maker, or maybe some of the specific scoring tool ones. Thank you very much. Yeah, absolutely. They're going to fit in there, no problem at all.
Going to show us the envelope box, looking at the instructions on your desk?
I am indeed. Let's have a look at this one, because
Thank you.
I use this one so much. Now again, this does slot into your Ultimate Pro. However, as you'll see the way that I use it, it doesn't have to. It's not there to hold it or hug it, or where you're going to be using it with measurements at the side. It is a key standalone tool.
I think it's one of the ones that works best, not best,
I use mine mostly without the Ultimate Pro.
Yeah, it works really well without the Ultimate Pro. It's easy to use without.
Because the other ones as well, Corrine, like these, although you can use this on their own, you're relying on that kind of a butt at the end, of course, of your Ultimate Pro for you to then pop your card up against, whereas you're not when it comes to this one. Now, if you've then got bamboozled with that little booklet, please, please, please try not worry, panic when you see this one. You know, this is...
It is scary at first, isn't it?
It is. It is. It's not anything like out of the Big Bang Theory or that with all of their stuff. All of that one here, it is. They are very, very simple. When you break it down, you do have your millimetres, or you do have your inches as well. So if we look at the inches, which are then from the middle onwards, you can either do flat envelopes, or you can do your envelopes that are 1/2 inch in depth, either 3/4 of an inch in depth, or 1 inch in depth. So I know Corrine kind of covered that earlier on when she was going over it. But what you can then do as well, anything in yellow, you're going to need large cardstock. So what I mean by that is, let's start actually with the white. Anything that's white, you'll need either A4 card or US letter size. anything that's blue, either E3 card or 12 by 12 card, and anything in yellow, you'll need your massive, massive sheets of cardstocks that you can get out. Well, certainly here in the UK, I know like the Range and all that do great big sections of sheets of cardstock and that you can get. So if we turn it this way around, and then all that we're going is, let's have a look as well. Let's do 3/4 of an inch in depth, because you're going to decide on the envelope style that you want. Now I've got 12 by 12 here, so I just need to make sure that what I'm choosing is going to go within the 12 by 12 cardstock.
5 by 7. 5 by 7's a good one, because
5
that's
by 7.
Yeah.
So let's go, so let's go, so you can go either way, it doesn't matter which way, 5 by 7, 7 by 5, it doesn't really matter. So 7 by 5. So we're going to be looking down here, because we've come along 7 all the way down, and then 5 is all the way down, that you can see just here. So what we are wanting is a piece of cardstock that is 10.5 inches, and we're going to use G and K. Now, because we're going to be doing it at 3/4 of an inch in depth, we also need to keep in mind, I need to use position 1 and 3. So that's all we need to remember at the moment, is G and K and 1 and 3. So let's get my cardstock in, and I'm just going to cut this to, of course, our 10.5. So let's just go in, cut it down, 10.5. Using the guillotine, it's always a lot quicker when we're live, but remember, you do have that trimmer in the middle. So now that I've got that to the right size, let's bring this one in. So what we want to keep in mind is we need to use position 1 and 3, as I said. So there is 1, 2, 3, 4. It is embossed. As we said at the start of the show, it's always a lot harder to see on screen, but you've got position 1, 2, 3, and 4. So let's pop our cardstock in, and I'm going to pop it into position 1, and you've even got your little notches at the top here to hold it in.
I've never noticed those before.
Yeah, so it's just, it holds it all in that perfect flow, that perfect direction when it comes. And then remember, we're using G and K. So G, G, K, and K.
It's always opposites, isn't it?
Always opposites, yeah, always opposites. So we're going to score at G, but remember, because it's going to be 3/4 of an inch in depth, what we're going to do now is we're going to lift that up, and we're going to move that into position 3.
It's all on the booklet. You
all
don't
there.
have to learn it. It's all on the booklet, so you just keep your booklet in front of you.
It is, yeah, always there. If you want to take it apart and laminate it or put it in a binder like I have done, then you can do. So now that I've done positions 1 and 3, well, we're going to do the same again here. So let's score.
Still using the G line, yeah?
Still the G, yeah. So as you were saying a minute ago, it is the opposite. So we're G at position 1. We're going to lift that one up to position 3. Remember, you've got that bumper at the top here as well. And then we're going to score at G. And then we're just going to turn it around. And then this is now where we're going to go into when we're doing
wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, K. So into position 1, and we're going to go into K. Lift it up, position 3, and then K. And you do a couple of these triangle cuts slightly different that I'll show you in a minute. So flip it over, and then we've got K, and then up into position 3, K once again.
I think you'll never, you know, all the time people say, oh, you've made lovely cards today, but I don't know how to box them. As soon as you've got this, it takes away all that worry, doesn't it?
It does. It really, really does. Sometimes you end up making a card that's that little bit bigger, whether it is in the length or the height, or maybe it's going to be the depth. And it just means then you don't need to worry now. You can then just bring in your enveloper and then
Can I just say, what I found with that is, I once made one, and I said, oh, my card was, I don't know, 5 by 7. So I went up to 7.5 by 5.5, for example, because I thought, oh, I want a bit of room. I found with those, that's already taken into account.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what you need to do is remember what size your card is.
Definitely.
And actually use the markings that say that size, because Sarah's already gone, well, if you've got a 7 by 5 card, you need 7 1/4 by 5 1/4, whatever, just to give you that room for it to slide.
Exactly.
And she's already done all of that for you.
She has. It's all done there, so I completely agree with
So you snip
them.
those corners out totally, sorry I was talking.
No, that's okay. So the top part of the envelope, Corrine, what I would do is cut the whole triangle out.
Yeah.
Now at the bottom here, because it's going to be an envelope box that we're creating, what we need to do for this one here is there's a little triangle that we're going to cut out.
Yeah.
And then there is another triangle. So the 2 small triangles you're going to cut, but that one that I've just done, Corrine, I'm going to extend that all the way to that score line. So we've got a little tab there.
Yep.
So once again, the 2 little triangles, cut them out. Same with the second one, cut it out. And then what you can do is once you've cut, just extend that all the way along.
Yeah.
So what we can then do is we can then take our tape, we can then join that as if we were creating a box. Just press that in, press that one in, and then all that you need to do is you'll see as that comes in, so I'm just going to come in and I'm just going to add my tape there and then there. That can then come in place. I like to use my glass mat so I can kind of line it up so I get that perfect 90 degree. Then we can go into here, press that in. I'm just going to put my hand in. You can put your ruler or that. And then you've got a 5 by 7 envelope that's 3/4 of an inch in depth. I'll just give that another little bit of a burnish. But maybe if you've got your envelope gums that you've maybe got in your craft room, or it could be a magnetic disc, a hook and loop, something like that, you can do that. You can then use that one. But then there we go. That's why I use mine all the time.
Perfect. Now, I hope you've all found that really, really useful. So many comments. Carolyn Wilson says, my mind is blown with everything I've learned. Thank you both. Debbie says, Corrine and Craig, I've had my Ultimate Pro for years and today I still learned a lot. And Rachel on our social says, thanks, Craig. It's making my brain hurt because we've done so much. So, yep, hopefully this is, you've all found this masterclass really useful. And if you've learned a lot, then please just go back and watch us again, time and time again, and you'll find lots of useful hints and tips. Right, we've run over just a little bit, but we wanted to finish that demo so Craig could show you. So we're going to disappear now. We're going to be back in 1 hour. So Craig and I are going to quickly have some lunch, and we're going to give you a first look at the most amazing collection. We both love this collection, don't we, Craig? It's beautiful. Colour Your World. You don't know anything about it yet, so please come back at 2 o'clock and have a first look at Colour Your World. And we'll tell you when it's going to be released, when you're going to be able to buy it and show you. And I can promise you, you're going to be there waiting for this. This is perfect. See you at 2 o'clock. It'll be myself and Craig. Until then, goodbye.